Hey, welcome back, everybody. Glad you dropped anchor again with us. Maybe the last episode wasn't as bad as we thought, huh?
Yeah, no one abandoned ship in the comments, so I'm calling that a win.
And guess what? You're about to meet a brand new legend, Taxi Man. Man's got more stories than miles on his cab.
Finally, someone around here who knows where he's going. Before we roll, that British narrator is still here, right?
Yeah, the one who sounds like she's narrating a funeral she doesn't want to attend.
Oh, splendid. They've remembered I exist. Let's get this over with before someone bursts into another idiotic accent. So, Captain Jack's in what he calls a blue funk, which, for normal people, is mild depression. But for him, it's just another Tuesday. His next cruise isn't for a week, and there's another 2-week gap after that. Translation: no tourists, no tips, no reason to shower. He's not even worried about the money, which is wild because he should be. No, he's spiralling because now he has to do maintenance. And this man hates cleaning like it's a moral stance. The to-do list is endless. Scrubbing, polishing, sealing, cleaning, painting, vacuuming. The kind of chores that make you realise you'd rather die alone in a studio apartment than own a boat. He doesn't mind clean bathrooms, heads, or clean laundry, or shiny chrome. He loves a well-oiled engine. Honestly, the man's romantic about oil in a way that should concern someone. But that dog, oh, that hairy little demon, makes him crawl into spaces no human body should go. He's bending and twisting like a drunk yoga instructor. And where's Sea Dog during all this? Oh, she's gone. Did her usual vanishing act right after the last cruise. Classic diva move. Drop the mic, collect the tips, and ghost. Except she didn't really leave, because her DNA is everywhere. The couch, the cushions, the bedding, his clothes, the electronics, like she exploded into a fur grenade. It's like living inside a lint roller commercial. You could build a second dog out of what she left behind. So now Jack's vacuuming like a man possessed. Well, more like a man who's been possessed reluctantly. He's sweating, grunting, wielding a lint roller like it's a weapon of war. And somewhere in the background, the ship's judging him. Because she remembers the good old days when actual men in pressed white uniforms scrubbed her deck before breakfast. Now it's just this splotchy, t-shirted gremlin wheezing over a dustbuster. She's plotting revenge. Maybe a rope will fray, or a pump will fail. Just a little nautical screw you. Finally, Captain Jack finishes, collapses, and gets hungry, because nothing works up an appetite like half-arsing chores. So now he's got to make a decision. Does he eat one of his meals ready to eat, or does he go to Molly Malone's? He's in Red Hook, so obviously he's tempted by Molly's. Cold beer, hot food, actual human contact. But no, because if he goes, he'll order a Heineken's, plural, and end up double fisting like a frat pledge. Out of respect for the waiter, he'll drink both. Out of disrespect for his liver, he'll want more. So he chooses romance. An MRE. The sexiest dinner in a pouch. Choices tonight. Country Captain chicken with mashed potatoes, or chili and macaroni with cookie and jalapeno cheese spread. Wow, he's really living the dream. Fine dining, table for one, served in beige plastic. He boils the water, because that's cooking now, and sits down to his Michelin star meal, lukewarm pasta and a bottle of RC Cola. Not even Coke. RC, the kind of soda that only exists in gas stations and sad grocery store end caps. He's pairing it like a sommelier of despair. Ah yes, the RC brings out the subtle metallic aftertaste of regret. He eats, alone, surrounded by the gentle sound of the wind rattling the rigging, and the ship, of course, shudders. She literally shakes with contempt, because this is her life now. A once glorious yacht reduced to watching a man in a stained t-shirt slurp lukewarm chili out of a bag. Halfway through his sumptuous meal, which, let's be honest, was just chili in a pouch and sadness in a cup, the slobberphone rang. And yes, that's what he calls it. It used to be a normal iPhone, sleek, respectable, like I still have credit. But then Sea Dog happened. Because every time that thing rang, Jack was at the tiller, and the phone was somewhere inconvenient, like inside the salon or under a pile of regret. So Sea Dog, ever the overachiever, took over phone duty. She'd grab it with her mouth and proudly deliver it, covered in drool, because nothing says professional mariner like answering a wet phone with a hairball attached. And the name stuck. Passengers laughed, Jack laughed, and boom, the slobberphone was born. Which sounds like a rejected Apple product from hell. Introducing the new iPhone S. It's waterproof. Because it has to be. Anyway, the phone's ringing, and it's that sing-song island voice on the other end. His best friend and personal chaos supplier, Taxi Man. Every one of their conversations starts like a roast battle hosted by the Travel Channel.
Am I speaking to that lazy, good-for-nothing, womanizing, drinking, contraband-carrying pirate of a man who can't navigate his way out of the docks at Red Hook?
Who's complaining about my navigation skills?
Your navigation skills? Please, man. Even your dog uses GPS.
It's pure love language. These two insult each other like it's foreplay for friendship. They've been doing this for 5 years. Jack supplies the boat, Taxi Man supplies the tourists, and together they run the island's jankiest referral network. Basically, they're the Uber and Airbnb of questionable decisions. Then, Taxi Man always drops a line about introducing Jack to a nice girl, because apparently his life's mission is to marry Jack off like a mum with a Facebook account and too much time. Jack's response? Peak avoidance.
Say, Jack, you interested in meeting a fine island girl from a good family?
Hey, I didn't know Miss Elizabeth was available. You stepping out on her again?
And that shuts Taxi Man up, because Miss Elizabeth is his wife. The queen of the island kitchen, the mother hen who feeds everyone, and the only woman Jack actually likes. She's basically Oprah with jerk chicken. Taxi Man laughs it off, as always, and invites Jack to dinner. Miss Elizabeth insists he comes by at 9, because even at 68, she's still running the island like she's hosting a dinner party for pirates and saints. And she likes Jack. Maybe a little too much. Even Taxi Man knows it.
Don't ya be coming before I get there, man. She likes ya better than me sometimes.
And Jack just chuckles, pretending he's not secretly wishing anyone liked him that much. Then the line goes dead, and suddenly the man's mood shifts. He's thinking about love, which is dangerous territory for a guy whose emotional depth usually stops at extra jalapeno cheese spread. He stares into the water like he's in a moody perfume ad. By Dior. Regret. He throws on a melancholy jazz CD, probably Miles Davis, because that's what sad men who used to be interesting play, and finishes his MRE with all the passion of a man slowly losing to mould. And then, because there's always a chore waiting, he goes back to work. Because nothing heals the ache of lost love like vacuuming the same 57 feet of emotional baggage. It's just before 5 o'clock, and Captain Jack's phone rings again. It's Taxi Man, because of course it is, sounding like a man who just won the lottery and found a reason to bother you about it.
I'm telling ya, it's a lucky day for Captain Jack. Dinner at Miss Elizabeth's, and 4 Japanese tourists need a 4-day educational cruise.
And Jack? He loses his mind. He whoops.
Hot damn pee-pee-tam and les bon temps roulé.
Yeah, I don't know what that means either. It's Cajun, or possibly a head injury. Jack's southern roots just start leaking out whenever he gets excited, like maple syrup and confusion. He's never sure if he's speaking French or having a stroke, but his heart's in it. So he is about to ask the obvious question about the start date, all pumped like this is his big break. And Taximan, doing his best imitation of a buzzkill, goes,
Well, you see, it's not that simple.
Of course it isn't. Nothing ever is with these two. Jack's business isn't exactly what the Chamber of Commerce would call legit. The real travel agents hate him. The yacht brokers think he's a joke. They whisper about his discount cruises and the fact that he serves meals ready to eat like he's running a floating FEMA camp. Honestly, if Gordon Ramsay ever set foot on that boat, he'd just burst into flames. But Jack doesn't care. He's used to being the guy nobody invites to the Marina Christmas party. The MREs, the discounts, the cab driver marketing team, he's fine with all of it. He's practically built for low expectations. Still, something in Taximan's voice says, uh-oh. So Jack braces himself.
Okay, what's our challenge du jour this time?
Taximan, like a man explaining to his kid why Santa isn't real.
We had a bit of a problem communicating, but from what I can tell, they wish to meet you and inspect the boat. Are you ready to repel borders, Captain?
Cue panic. Jack suddenly remembers the boat. It's mostly clean, except for a few rogue dog hairs that defied modern science. But the ship herself, she groans, because she knows she's about to be judged by tourists again. Jack tries to stall.
Can we maybe delay this inspection until tomorrow morning? You and I need to bone up on our Japanese hand-waving skills.
They agree on a 10 a.m. rendezvous, hang up, and that's when it hits him. The cleaning's done, the plan's half-baked, and the panic sets in. Because tomorrow morning, 4 polite strangers are going to board the Dick, and he's supposed to look like a professional. Yeah. Panic is the right call. 4 Japanese tourists were about to descend on the Dick. Yep, that's still the name of the boat, and Captain Jack was about as prepared as a toddler with a flamethrower. He's pacing around like he's Hamlet in flip-flops, having a full-blown Shakespearean meltdown. To charter or not to charter? That is the $3,000 question. Because here's the situation. If he takes the job, he has to somehow entertain and feed 4 polite, punctual, highly organised strangers from a culture he's never dealt with before. If he doesn't take it, he loses $3,000 and the tips, which, let's be honest, he probably planned to spend on rum and replacement vacuum bags. On one hand, Japanese tourists are the new wave. More of them travelling overseas, more money floating around, maybe even a chance to go legit. On the other hand, they usually want all-inclusive packages. Travel, lodging, meals, tours, translators. Basically everything Jack doesn't have. His package deal right now consists of diesel fumes, a dog that may or may not return, and an MRE. But these 4 are apparently different. They're venturing off the beaten path, meaning off the cruise ship and directly into chaos. So Jack's doing what he does best, overthinking and underqualifying himself. He's in the middle of this poetic little brain spiral about honour, opportunity and maintenance. Suffer the slings and arrows of outrageous varnish. When he realises something, he's already sold. The challenge, the risk, the money, he's in. Shakespeare would be proud, or maybe just concerned, but then, oh no, a new crisis. Entertainment. He opens the boat's movie collection, and it's basically a war museum. Midway, Tora, 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 Bridge on the River Kwai. You know, all the maybe don't show this to Japanese guests classics. He panics and grabs the slobber phone, sweating bullets as he tries to find a copy of Ran or Seven Samurai. And the teenagers at the video store? Sir, are those anime? He dies a little inside. So before the night's big strategy session, he hides the evidence. Every single World War II tape shoved into some secret locker like a guilty history teacher, and prays his new passengers don't go digging through the VCR cabinet looking for movie night, because nothing says welcome aboard like Pearl Harbor director's cut. So Captain Jack decides to clean up, which in his world means slightly less disgusting. He showers, trims his beard, throws on a pair of shorts that don't smell like cognitive dissonance, and a freshly ironed Jost Van Dyke t-shirt, because branding is important when you're the CEO of Mediocrity Cruises LLC. He walks the 2 miles uphill to Taximan's house. 2 miles. Uphill, on an island, in humidity. The man's basically doing CrossFit in flip-flops, and for what? A free meal and emotional manipulation. He could have called a cab, but that would mean paying Taximan, and God forbid he support his best friend's small business. Halfway there, he stops at a bookstore to buy 2 items, a Japanese-English translation book, so he can stop communicating with hand gestures like he's playing charades with Godzilla. A guidebook on Japanese tourists, because nothing says I'm prepared like cramming cultural sensitivity from a $12 paperback. He doesn't even know who these tourists are yet, just that they exist and apparently don't speak English. Great. 4 strangers he can accidentally offend in 2 languages. Now we get to Taximan and Miss Elizabeth's house. And honestly, it's gorgeous. Like Better Homes and Gardens Caribbean edition. A whole acre with a killer harbour view, manicured gardens, a pool, and a veranda that could host both a wedding and a bar fight. Miss Elizabeth runs it like Buckingham Palace, if the Queen also made jerk chicken. Jack's crashed there before, in the guest apartment, because sometimes he needs company. Translation? He's lonely, broke, and his boat smells like wet dog and diesel. Tonight he's hoping for one thing: no matchmaking. Every dinner at their place turns into the Bachelorette Island edition. He's been through this before. Their fine island girls always have what he calls the terrible twos. Too old, too nice, too many chins. They're smart, funny, wonderful human beings, which in Jack's world means absolutely not my type. He prefers his women like his rum. Pretty, dangerous, and probably a bad idea. He gets to the door and boom, there they are. Miss Elizabeth, 6 inches taller than Taximan, 100 pounds heavier, radiating confidence, warmth, and the unspoken message, "You're eating seconds." Taximan, smaller, somewhat still hungrier. Together they look like love, Caribbean style. Sun-worn, content, and still a little horny after 30 years. Miss Elizabeth immediately launches into her greatest hits.
You don't care for us anymore, Jack. We never see ya. You lost weight. You need someone to take care of ya, Mon. I know just a lady.
It's sweet, it's smothering, it's every aunt at Thanksgiving. Jack gives the usual polite dodge.
Maybe next time, Miss Elizabeth.
Translation? Never. He lets Taximan handle the rejection later through diplomatic channels, because cowardice is his love language. Then Taximan drops the bomb.
They are the cutest co-eds I ever seen.
Students. Girls. Jack's internal alarm goes off. Oh, good, a babysitting cruise. Exactly what every middle-aged man wants. A floating field trip with liability.
How old are they?
Hard to say, Mon. Late teens?
Jack immediately needs a drink. And a lawyer. Miss Elizabeth hears him and offers both. A wee dram of Glenmorangie Scotch and a fine island girl to chaperone. Jack and Taxi-Man look around for exits like they're in a hostage negotiation. Thankfully, Taxi-Man comes through with a lifeline.
Maybe one of them be older. Maybe their teacher.
Jack clings to that sentence like it's a life raft. Teacher equals adult equals not handcuffs. Miss Elizabeth, thwarted for now, declares dinner ready. Dinner is, as always, phenomenal. Her mango daiquiris could fix trauma, and the jerk chicken could start religion. Jack eats like a man who hasn't tasted joy in weeks. When Miss Elizabeth finally stands to clear the dishes, she shoots her husband a look that says, "Don't you dare plot anything while I'm gone." Then she hugs Jack, winks, and says,
Don't you be giving him no bad ideas.
which is hilarious, because Taxi-Man's entire friendship with Jack is bad ideas. Once she's gone, the Council of War begins. 2 grown men sitting on a veranda drinking scotch and studying a book about Japanese tourists like it's classified intelligence. They're forming a battle plan for 4 girls who probably just want sun and selfies. Their findings? Japanese women are travelling more independently. Translation: they don't need your creepy-ass Jack. Groups of college students often travel together to find themselves. Good luck finding yourself on the dick. They've all studied English for years but can't speak it well. Honestly, relatable. Jack's brain lights up. Ding, ding, ding. Money idea. If they want to practice English, he'll teach English. He'll turn his broke-down charter into a discount educational cruise. Every passenger gets a certificate in nautical conversational English printed on glossy paper from his ancient PC. Congratulations, you've survived 4 days. Here's your diploma in nonsense. He even adds free labour to the syllabus. They can be his crew and sea dog sitters at no extra charge. It's the perfect scam. Plan. He leans back, proud of himself, sipping scotch like a man who just reinvented higher education.
Arr, matey, thar be plunder ahead. I'll give him my best pirate speak. I wonder how R sounds in Japanese.
Probably the same, Jack. It probably sounds the same.